Welcome to this new Virtual Technology Summit. I'm Yolande Poirier, Senior Community Manager for Java Technologies. This event is brought to you today by Oracle Technology Network. Before we start, I want to make sure that I mention the Safe Harbor statement. It states that all the information that you will hear today is subject to change, so you should not make purchasing decisions solely based on the information provided today. In the next 30 minutes, I will go over community news and also releases. We have important releases coming up, as you know, and there are some updates that I can give you today. So community news. So the first community news is about the new Duke personality. Every year, Duke has a new personality, and this year he is the Cloud Master, because for us this year is all about the cloud and innovations in the cloud. So he is sitting on his little cloud in a Zen position and juggling applications on different types of screens. So for example, tablets, phones, etc. So you will see this new Duke personality appear on a number of places and also at JavaOne. So this year is the 20-year anniversary of Java, and for the occasion, Oracle University is offering a special discount, which is 20% off any Java certification exams. How to apply is first you have to be interested in a Java exam, and the company that you can contact to pass your exam is Pearson's View, and they will give you the 20% discount. The offer will end December 2015, so at the end of the year. We are also celebrating the anniversary at JavaOne. So JavaOne is our biggest conference, and it's taking place October 25th to October 29th this year. So we are celebrating, of course, at the keynote, and also there will be a wall where people can write comments. So a lot of activities and also information around the 20-year anniversary. The week of JavaOne, you can join us online. You can follow us on Twitter at #JavaOne. We will also do news coverage on our blog, so at blogs.oracle.com/JavaOne. We will be interviewing speakers, but also luminaries, Java luminaries at nighthacking.com. So all the interviews will be live and then also recorded and available afterwards. Right now, a lot of the content is already on the website, on the content catalog, so I recommend you to just check it out and see what is the cutting-edge content at Java for Java this year. The best speakers are awarded the title of Rockstar Speakers, and they are coming from around the world, so I recommend checking that list and seeing if they're not speaking at other conferences that might be near you. If you come to JavaOne, which is of course ideal, then you will have like tons of opportunities to learn. This year we have 400 sessions, and a lot of the sessions also are very interactive, like the bird of the feathers, for example, so where you can discuss a problem and so solve maybe an issue that you had for a while and you couldn't find another solution. So it's good to come to the conference for that. In terms of the experience, we also try to add a lot of networking opportunities and ways for you to connect with other people. So Teller Street Cafe is the place where you can hang out, but also have your meetings, and they serve food as well there. So Java Hub is also a good place. It's in the exhibit hall. The picture actually on this slide is from the Java Hub last year. There are a lot of demos, technical demos that are there. Experts join the space as well, so you can meet, talk to them, discuss new technologies. So in this case, this picture is about an AI robot. There are a lot of things happening at JavaOne, so before the event you should schedule your activities in the schedule builder. Java Magazine appears every other month, and for each edition there is a new main topic. So the July-August edition was all about DevOps. In that edition there is an interview with Patrick Dubois, who is the founder and the creator of DevOps. There is also an interview with Netflix about how they implemented continuous delivery of microservices using DevOps. Also deep technical articles that cover tools like Docker, Puppet, and Vagrant. And another article that treats more in depth the deployment of Chief. All those articles are very technical. They also treat other topics, like for example functional programming in Java, Java EE, context and dependency injection, as well as programming on CPUs. So the magazine has very deep technical articles. It is free. You just need to subscribe at oracle.com/javamagazine. So you will receive all the editions in an email version, so virtual copies of the magazine. Another great source of technical content is the OTN Articles. So like the Java magazine, they are written by industry experts. So people outside of Oracle who deploy our Java technologies and work with Java on a day-to-day basis. We publish new articles on an ongoing basis. So articles about software development analytics, design pattern, lambdas, lambda tutorials, Java FX application for mobile devices, Java EE application and performance for Java EE applications, and finally non-blocking web applications in Java. So articles that cover the entire Java platform, so all the Java technologies really. If you want to submit an article, submit an abstract first at otnfeedback_us@oracle.com. We also accept submissions for blogs, so you can be a guest blogger on blogs.oracle.com/java. Next, I want to talk to you about Java releases. Java EE 8 release is expected in the spring of 2017. You can read a lot about this release at the blog The Aquarium, and the URL is on the screen. This release is really in early stages, and the spec leads are just like scoping those projects. But many of the JSRs that I have listed here are actually in early drafts that you can review. So especially MVC, GSF, JSON, and the security JSRs, they are all like in early draft. If you want the status and of other technologies and all the JSRs, you can visit jcp.org. This is where you can find most of the information on those JSRs. Now you can also be more involved with the development of those technologies. And for example, the Adopter JSR, which is run by the community, organizes meetings around the world, and especially the JUGs are involved with this. But on this website, you can find out about how to run a meeting and how to test in groups and how to contribute the code back to the project. So a lot of information is available, and also a list of meetings and JUGs that are running events, so maybe there is something near you that you can just go to and participate. So why be more involved with those releases? Well, you can build the expertise, the knowledge about those new products that are just in development, and become visible. You can blog about it and share that information with your teams or a group of experts. There are different ways that you can get involved. You can, so as I mentioned, like run an event, test it in a group, blog about features, give talks. You can just read about the specs and become an expert and share that knowledge with your with your teams. You can just provide feedback, join a mailing list, discuss issues on mailing lists, contribute code to the spec, or eventually become a spec lead. Java SE 9 is the next release for the Java SE platform, and it is expected in the fall of 2016. Now the project is in early stage, but it's also open source, so you can download and test the current builds at openjdk.java.net. So you can also will find information on new features, announcements. Java 9 will be introducing modularity, which is the main feature of this release, but it has also a lot of other features. And so, for example, the REPL is a new feature in Java 9. Right now you can test a REPL, but it comes with JShell, which is a REPL interpreter, and right now they're not integrated in the early access releases. So there are information, and there is a link here on YouTube. So if you're interested in testing the JShell with this current early releases of Java 9, then there are instructions that you can follow. So Java 9 sun.misc.Unsafe. There was some concern in the community that the sun.misc.Unsafe API was going to disappear from the next release of Java, so Java 9. So what is it first? So this API is a low-level library that was designed to be used in the JDK. Over time, it has been used in many different ways by a lot of people besides the engineering who are designing the Java 9 platform. So now there is some concern that if this API was to be removed, there would be a lot of software that would not work as a result. Chief Architect Mike Reinhold addressed the issue of the removal of sun.misc.Unsafe and actually reaffirmed the fact that it will not be removed in Java 9 from the Java 9 release. He laid out a plan, and there is the linked is actually on the screen. I will also play a video. He talked about the issue of the faith of sun.misc.Unsafe in a recent video at the JVM Language Summit. I'm just going to play you like the 2 minutes where he explains the plan, but I really recommend you to watch the whole video. It's available on YouTube, on youtube.com/Java. Here is the excerpt from Mark Reinhold.
So the fate of sun.misc.Unsafe, this is in JEP 260, which I published last week, is as follows. In JDK 9, it will be available to code on the class path by default. It will be available to code in modules by request. If you decide to put your code in a module, you can declare that that module requires the module that contains sun.misc.Unsafe, and you can continue to use it, but you will be aware that you're using it. It will not be further enhanced. And over time, broadly used functionality in sun.misc.Unsafe will be migrated to safer supported APIs, some of which Paul will discuss in a few moments. So here's the recipe for what will happen in which release. In a particular JDK release, call it N, if a supported replacement for an unsafe method exists in the previous release, N-1, then we will encapsulate or remove that method in release N. So you've got one release to figure it out. If a replacement for a method exists in that release, we will deprecate that unsafe method in that release. And we might even deprecate it with a new, even stronger deprecation tag that's even more annoying. Once replacements for all unsafe methods exist in the previous release, sun.misc.Unsafe will be removed, gone. So, whether the value of n here is 10, 11, or 12, I will leave to the future. We'll not attempt to predict that. Going forward, we will continue to have some internal APIs that are deeply embedded with the VM that, yes, sorry Marcus, there will be additional hard-coded names in the VM. We will place them in packages with whose name is prefixed with jdk.internal. These will be encapsulated. You will not be able to get at their internals except by a command line flag. And that's intentional. We want people to be aware of when they're using this. We would like for people to be responsible when they use it. We can't force responsibility. We can only encourage it, but we can at least make everyone, whether they're an expert developer or not, aware of when they're using sun.misc.Unsafe. So the command line flag is, by design, a little bit ugly, but it works. Just a second, Jeremy. Okay, so as with sun.misc.Unsafe, these internal things will be unsupported. They will be subject to change without notice, but you will be able to get to them.
So this was an excerpt of the presentation that Mark Reinhold gave at the JVM Summit a couple of weeks ago. For the full presentation, please go to youtube.com/Java. At the same event, Paul Sandoz presented solutions for the replacement of sun.misc.Unsafe. So I'm going to play just a small excerpt of his presentation now. And it's just the beginning of his presentation where he presents some of the use cases and how and which project can actually help to replace the use of sun.misc.Unsafe. Here is an excerpt of Paul Sandoz's video presentation.
The use cases of Unsafe into 4 broad general categories. So we have sort of enhanced atomic access here. People who use compare and swap and all sorts of stuff like this. We have stuff that like interoperate across the JVM boundary. People use get put, JNI, efficient memory layout and access. People use allocate free memory, put gate. They want to hide from the GC and stuff like this. So I think there's lots of other use cases too, but these are the 4 sort of broad categories that people do, like serialization, mocking, proxying, I would include in that, where people use allocate instance, and another one here. The 2 are almost identical but subtly different. And we can map these use cases to features. So we have, say, enhanced atomic access. I'll be talking about variable handles here. We have interoperate across the JVM boundary. So this is Project Panama, foreign function interface. We've already talked about this. Then there's efficient memory layout and access. So that covers Project Panama, Project Valhalla, Arrays 2.0. So Dan talked a bit about this earlier. Brian will talk about this as well. It all fits into this picture of how we can move away from Unsafe with these types of features. And there's a nearer term focus. So we can tackle some of these use cases now, and we can tackle some of these use cases later. So the things I'm going to focus on these things, and in terms of the efficient memory layout and access, I'm going to talk about a few small things around array bounds checks and array access, which I would like to use here and in other places as well. So as a replacement strategy here is that I want to hunt for the right hotspot intrinsic, the most general one I can reuse in lots of little other places. And you've seen that applied to what Vladimir talked about with Lambda forms. There's a very nice divide between the JVM and the JDK layer, and I'm trying to find little sweet spots for what I want to do.
So this was an excerpt of the presentation from Paul Sandoz. So if you want to watch Mark Reinhold's or Paul Sandoz's full presentation, then you can find them at youtube.com/Java. Mark Reinhold's session was called The Secret History and the Tragic Fate of sun.misc.Unsafe. And Paul Sandoz's session was called Safety First. So, and they are in the playlist for the event, the JVM Language Summit. So the JVM Summit happened in August this year. And the summit is an annual gathering of language designers and compiler writers. So a lot of people working on the JVM. There is some information from the event that is actually valuable for developers, and especially for developers who are writing code for the JVM. So anybody who wants to know about best practices around the JVM, so that's really the information that you could find in the sessions that we recorded at the event. So 18 videos are available online. Some of the sessions are, for example, so the keynote was from Martin Oberski, and he's talking about compilers being databases. The future is native was also an interesting session from Dan Heidinger, and multi-language runtime with Mark Stupley. So Brian Getz presented also an interesting presentation about the project Valhalla. So I really recommend the session, and I also added here the URL where you can find more information about Project Valhalla. So Java 9 is a future release, but we just released Java SE 8 update 60 in August. And so that release was mainly had Nashorn, so JavaScript enhancement, but also improvement for the deployment rule set, ARM support. So you can find out more about this release on OTN, on Oracle Technology Network, and I indicated the URL here. More articles if you want to know more about Java 8. Of course, we are publishing new articles on an ongoing basis. And last month was the JDK 8 MOOC series, so a massive open online course. The sessions of that course are available in a playlist also on the YouTube account of the Java YouTube account. I want to give you a quick overview of all the cloud platform services that Oracle offers. And it's a really broad offering, and I'm not going to talk about all the services today, but just wanted to give you an idea. Today, though, I'm going to talk about the application development, because I think this is more relevant for you as a developer and especially as a Java developer. So coming soon are two services. One is Java SE in the cloud, so it would allow you to deploy Java SE application to any cloud, any Oracle cloud. The other type of application or services that will come soon is the Node.js in the cloud, and that would allow you to deploy any Node.js application to an Oracle cloud. So links are available here if you want to know more about the services. And like I said, they're not available right now, but they will be soon. So available now, though, is the Java Cloud Services. So previously we talked about Java SE applications and Node.js application. In this case, you can actually deploy any type of Java application. And again, I have the link here if you want to know more about these services. So combined with the Java Cloud Service, you can combine it with Developer Cloud Service. And that service allows you to create and collaborate, so develop and collaborate a Java application. So it has management tools, issue tracking, and continuous integration tool as well. So this is live today, and here are some resources. So there is a general website, and as well as discussion forums, blogs, and collaboration as well, so and documentation. Lastly, there are a number of cloud events around the world, and so there may be a cloud event near you, so I recommend that you check the link oracle.com/cloud day. So here is today's agenda. So after the introduction session is at 10 is connecting devices to the cloud. And this is an example of in healthcare presented by Gerrit Grunwald. Then at 11 is the JDK8 date and time API presented by Simon Ritter. And at 12 is cloud-enabled JavaScript stored procedures with Nashorn, which is presented by Kouassi Mensah. So a question that I get a lot during the event is how to download presentations, slides. So here at the bottom of your screen, you should see this screen, so all the little icons, and if you click on the green icon, which I circled in red here, you will have the contextual menu, and that will allow you to download slides, so for any of the presentations that are available today. So time for Q&A. The session is almost over. Again, you can ask questions anytime. We have experts that are available to answer questions in the chat window. Quick reminder that there is a lot of training offered by Oracle University, and so certifications and ongoing training classes. So thank you for joining us today, and in a couple of minutes the next session is going to start.